Welcome back. It's been a while, but I am making art again. I think I've got over the big hurdle I was dealing with. So this particular sculpture, I am was inspired by my 13-year-old niece, and this is all about her. And I tried to capture 13 in the pose and the expression, and the colors represent something that she's going through right now. I had a conversation with her a couple of weeks ago, and she told me that she's having a rough time in school and in life in general. So I wanted to make some art inspired by her just to let her know that I support her and I think she's very brave. She doesn't give herself enough credit. She's really quite smart. So I think one of the most interesting things about this particular sculpture is normally when I'm making a leather sculpture, because this is hollow leather, I usually have to have some kind of support in the base, and this one doesn't have one. When I actually constructed the clay around a wire cage, and I assumed that I would use the cage afterwards to, especially because of this sitting position, and it didn't need it. It is very solid and strong, and I just thought it was fascinating that this partially formed human is strong enough to stand up on its own, and I think that's very symbolic of my niece. I read a study where human brain development doesn't fully mature until, I want to say, 23, and maybe even later than that. I thought that was fascinating. So apparently us old fogies are the ones who are finally adults. I don't think that's true for everybody, though. So the colors, I actually have many layers, one on top of the other, letting other colors show through, and I think that worked out pretty well. I also used some foam clay for this texture on the back. I just wanted something to define the hair part, and I didn't need it to be, I wanted it to be subtle. I didn't need it to be super um, representative of hair. I just wanted something to set apart that part of the sculpture, and I like how that turned out. I am also happy with just the general shapes that I have a little bit of control over what happens, but mostly leather does what it wants. As it dries, it changes and flips, and it has a mind of its own, so I just go with it. But overall, I think this turned out pretty well, and I hope that when I show this to my niece, she will like it as well.